So this is PNandFriends. We're here with arguably the number one MMA gym right now in the world, Miami, Florida. GoatShed with the owner Asim, who has a bunch of UFC fighters. One right just came back from Joe Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, one of our girl fighters, female fighters, she has the most submissions in UFC history, the most finishes in UFC history for females. So she's doing historical things every single fight. She just went to Joe Rogan yesterday, and you see she's here with her suitcase today. She just flew back straight from the airport, straight to training. So we're about to run a special class for her right now.
That's dope, man. 'Cause, at PNandFriends, we do day trading education. So I'm curious, like, what is the champion mindset to you?
Here's the thing. I've had a lot of different type of athletes, and I've realized the commonality amongst the most successful are the ones that are consistent. And I know that sounds simple, consistency, that's a simple principle, but here's the thing. You can't just be consistent, you have to be obsessively consistent, in my opinion. That's what's required to be the greatest of all time in your industry. So I have a lot of athletes that go through peaks and valleys, train really hard, they don't train at all. Train really hard, go on a vacation. Then I have other athletes who are up here and stay up here all year long and are ready for any opportunity that comes their way. And they're the ones that succeed more than anybody.
Well, I know your dad owns Apple a Day, that one of my favorite health food restaurants in Miami.
Yep.
And how important is nutrition to you, for your team, for all the athletes you have here?
It's a huge part of it, man, because that's just gonna trickle down into everything you do. It's gonna change the way you feel, and the way you feel is how you're gonna perform. And how you perform is what results you're gonna achieve. So it all comes from nutrition. That's the start of everything, right? So we gotta take care of our bodies, of our mind, through what we're eating. It all starts with what we put in our mouth, right?
When you were fighting yourself, because you were a fighter, you're a kickboxer, right?
Yeah.
Did you eat a lot of junk food?
No,
Before
I
a fight?
actually, you're gonna find this really funny. So my mother owned a convenience store and my father owned a health food store, and they were separate. So as a young kid growing up, I got either really free candy bars and ice cream, or I got free health food. And I always chose the candy bars and ice cream until my first day of jiu-jitsu. So I did kickboxing, but my first day of jiu-jitsu, I was 10 years old. After that first day, still to today, I've never tasted a drop of soda. I've never eaten candy. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I will reward myself an earned meal after a week's hard work and have like a dessert or whatever it is. No problem. But it's definitely not exaggerated. My nutrition is very important to me.
So like when your UFC fighters win, what have you noticed a common thread between like one or two things that they have in common with their nutrition that help them reach optimal performance?
That's really interesting. The thing is, with MMA, it's such a complex industry with nutrition, because not only do you have to eat healthy, sometimes you have to lose an absurd amount of weight very rapidly. So I have athletes that literally are losing 25 pounds in 4 days. That's not healthy. That's polar opposite of that, right? So it becomes a completely different thing. You eat for nutrition and performance, but then athletes also in MMA, the last few days leading up to the fight, they have to almost go into this negative calorie state, which is hard.
What do you think about the ice rooms and the ice plunge?
I think those are great. It's a great shock to the system. There's so much benefit to it. They're even finding benefit of going into a cold plunge and then going immediately into a workout. There's great benefits of that too. It's just they're finding a lot of new fascinating things about these temperature changes, rapid temperature changes. That's something I would love to implement. And in fact, right now we're working on expanding the gym. We're hopefully gonna nail our investors very soon. And when that happens, ice plunge, sauna, that type of stuff is essential.
Yeah.
And I need that in my gym for my athletes and for my everyday students, just for life.
Yeah. Do you think ice plunge just helps you with focus, or just
for sure. Ice plunge helps with focus and all that stuff. To be honest, there's also a lot of other things that I've been using for focus. There's a neurotropic that's all natural, really, really healthy. It's called Brain IQ, and I've been drinking this supplement like an energy drink almost. But no sugar added, all natural ingredients. Drinking it before my classes. It's almost like a natural Adderall. And it's unbelievable, this Brain IQ. I feel so focused, and literally all my students here will say I'm teaching the best classes I've ever taught.
Wow.
After that.
But it's crazy, because like you're also just, like whether it's day trading and finance or whatever field it is, like the champion mindset. It really is like you can apply that champion mindset anywhere.
Yep. And right now, you're essentially interviewing me, so I'm giving you all the answers. You told me something at lunch yesterday that resonated with us very well, and I repeated to my whole class today. You talked about delayed gratification, and it's just like, that's it. That's what it's about. Because you got to be willing to sacrifice now for the betterment of your future. And most people want now, everything now. And that's a big mistake also. And I'm sure you see that in finance all the time.
Oh, yeah.
This is an investment. It's going to pay off later on. That idea of delayed gratification, that's everywhere in finances and in athletics. You're going to wrestle now. You're going to stink right now. You're going to be terrible at it right now. But we're talking about 6 months from now, a year from now, it'll pay off. Sometimes I'll teach a skill that won't pay off for 2 years, 3 years. This is truthfully. I've taught things to my student Roy, he's been with me for 5 years, that is now paying off today. It took 4 years before it finally paid off.
Well, thank you, man. It's a great gym, and I hope your UFC fighters win,
We're going to do it.
Yeah, man.
Let's go. Thank you.